Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's December 19th, 2019. I'm in the house. It's bitterly cold outside, so I thought I'd share my thoughts with the Cybertruck and pulling large trailers. Some possible options that could be considered in the design of the trailer to be pulled. Now, many of you may realize from our channel, I've pre-ordered the intermediate cost Cybertruck, the one that has two motors, all-wheel drive, doesn't have the 500 mile battery pack on it, the range of 500 miles. But I will be doing trailering with it. One of the big jobs that we've got to do around here is haul a dump trailer behind the Cybertruck along rough ground all over the property, hauling logs, hauling rocks, hauling gravel, certainly hauling compostable materials as well as other things that we'll be hauling with the trailer. But many people potentially are going to want to put a big camper trailer behind the Cybertruck. Or they're going to want to have a construction vehicle where you can get inside, store all your materials, have it nice and safe, lock it up on the site as well. So there are quite a few thoughts I have about modifications or features if Tesla ever decided to actually manufacture cyber trailers that could be pulled by the Cybertruck. So one of so historically, I would say Tesla has been doing a lot of aerodynamic designing with their vehicles to make them more efficient so they don't need as large a battery packs by decreasing the aerodynamic drag on the vehicles. So often they'll take models and put them into wind tunnels and use a smoking system to see how the air flows over the surface of the vehicle, like NASA has been doing, and aeronautics, designers of airplanes, designers of submarines, all sorts of vehicles, and certainly cars as well. Over the years, when I was young, tractor trailers had a large gap. There weren't any enclosures between the cab of the tractor and the trailer being pulled. There were no specialized hubcaps. They had huge mirrors. There was a big space between the roof of the cab and the top of the trailer. Aerodynamically, a disaster, and it costs much more money, tremendous amounts of fuel, created much more pollution, and made businesses much less efficient as well. So over the years, those tractor trailers have been redesigned so that they have a more conical nose to the tractor. They removed all of the extraneous, the male big things. They used to have big cattle panels on the front of them, big hood ornaments, big horn sets and all. Those people of my age will remember all of these ornamental things that really increase the inefficiency of the vehicle. And they have these big bulky mirrors as well. So when you look at the Tesla Semi, you see this conical shape. You see that they've taken and they've gradually increased the I'm going to call it a hood that goes above the cab to the roof of the vehicle, whatever size it is. There's side enclosures that decrease where air can get turbulent flow around the sides. They got aerodynamic hubcap covers to reduce the turbulent flow there. There's skirts between the various wheels on the sides of the trailers as well. Cameras instead of the large mirrors on the side of the semis as well. All of these things have been done to decrease the fuel costs and increase the efficiency of the vehicle. And these aerodynamic features have been carried over into spacecraft design, submarine design, car design, and so on. And certainly when we look at the Cybertruck, although many people wouldn't think that it's very aerodynamically designed, I believe it's probably quite efficient creating a laminar flow. So something that I'm going to talk about right now is something I learned in medicine when I was a student or I was on my cardiology rotation. A number that's used to convey turbulent flow versus laminar flow or transitional flow is Reynolds number, and it has to do with the shape of the area that the fluid is flowing through. When I say fluid, I do mean air as well. The viscosity or density of the fluid, and the velocity, the rate at which that the fluid is going through as well. And when we look at this Reynolds number, we can judge the relative efficiency of a design. And the more laminar flow there is, more parallel lines, the more efficient that the design actually is, and decreasing the aerodynamic drag. And certainly when you look at the Cybertruck, it is that wedge shape. Even though it's got sharp edges around it, I suspect that has an absolutely beautiful aerodynamic flow, creating lots of laminar flow, except right behind the truck there will be some turbulent flow. It won't be that nice smooth line. It'll be a little chaotic, the airflow behind it. And certainly when you're hauling a large trailer behind it, not my dump trailer, because my dump trailer isn't going to create that sail being pulled behind the Cybertruck, but a typical camper trailer or a large construction trailer is going to be quite large and create this large amount of air resistance being pulled behind the Cybertruck. So what are the ways that I think the efficiency of the trailer could be improved? One way, looking at trying to get as much laminar flow as possible, we want to have as smooth the sides and a more conical shape. And I think the upper part, say the upper 3.5 to 4 foot of the trailer, the part that's above the bed of the Cybertruck itself, could be shaped in such a way that it would increase laminar flow over the surface and the top of that trailer. Whereas the part behind the Cybertruck itself is going to have a great deal of laminar flow and turbulent flow going directly behind the tailgate of the truck itself. So one of my thoughts were that the base of the trailer could be engineered in such a way that it's more funnel shaped. And my permaculture side always thinks about the possibility of capturing and storing energy. Now, certainly when you have a trailer, you can think about, geez, having solar panels and panels that can slide out from the roof of it, or panels that can roll up from the sides and slide out from the sides, so that it can capture and store energy when the trailer is stationary. But another way of capturing and storing energy is all of this airflow that's created as the vehicle is being forced through the air. Well, that creates wind in a sense. So my thoughts were, if we could create laminar flow by using a funnel-shaped lower part directly behind the Cybertruck itself, not above the Cybertruck, direct that airflow through a type of wind turbine. And there have been tubular wind turbines that have been designed where laminar flow, if using the appropriate shapes being pulled behind the Cybertruck, that wind turbine could be generating electricity and potentially throwing a charge right back into the battery pack on the Cybertruck. Just like the wheels, when you take your foot off the pedal, not the gas, but the acceleration pedal, there's going to be regenerative braking. In other words, the motors turn into generators and recharge the batteries. So when you're going up a hill, yes, you're using a lot of charge from the battery, but when you're going down a hill, you're recharging that battery depending on how much weight there is as well. And my thoughts are, if we're pulling this large vehicle, this large trailer behind the truck, if the upper surface was more conical and the shape of the trailer were more streamlined, we could create laminar flow, decreasing resistance, and having the lower part where that turbulent airflow is going to be hitting the base of the trailer, we could funnel that into potentially a wind turbine to generate electricity and charge the battery and potentially extend our range. Another thing that I always like to do is use biomimicry. So for years, riblets have been used as a surface structure based on the skin-like surface of a shark. So if you've ever had the fortune of petting a shark without a gloved hand on, it's really coarse. It's like running it across a wire brush in a sense, a really coarse sandpaper. You can be quite surprised by how it feels. And the surface of these scales have denticles, which help with creating laminar flow along the surface and making a shark much more aerodynamically designed, and therefore with the combination of the cartilaginous endoskeleton in a sense and their musculature, they can propel themselves through the fluid, the water, much more efficiently and use much less energy. So that's something. So using riblets have been used, NASA's used them, certainly in the Olympics. I can't remember what year it was, but I think it was around the early 2000s, maybe 2004, around there. Certainly some of the body skins that the swimmers were using had riblets on the surface of them. And I think actually a travel trailer or a trailer could potentially have a laminate layer put on the surface of a stainless steel structure, if that's what the trailer was made out of, thereby increasing laminar flow, decreasing the drag that trailer would have as well. This system has been used in rockets. It's been used in aircraft as well. So it's something that's pretty well known, and I think it potentially could reduce the amount of energy required to travel the equal amount of distance with the same wind, hill structure, topography and weight in the vehicle. Those are a few thoughts that I did have. I'm really interested in if other people have ideas about either recapturing energy through through using wind turbines. I don't know if that's really an efficient system, but it's one of those things that I've been thinking about for quite some time, and certainly looking at the skin of a system. I may make another video talking about how solar panels could be used almost similar to the way that the telescoping tailgate on the Tesla tailgate is, and creating tremendous awnings, so when the trailer's stationary, it could generate photovoltaic energy as well. So any thoughts or your opinions about these ideas, please leave them below. I'd really be interested if this is a video you can share with your friends. People who are physicists can give me their thoughts on these ideas as well. And if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up. And by all means, folks, have a great day. Bye-bye now.